iPhone 7 battery replacement. Remove the two 3.4mm Pentalobe screws on the bottom edge of the iPhone. The eye opener in the center of the microwave. Heat the eye opener for 30 seconds throughout the repair procedure. As the eye opener cools, reheat it in the microwave for an additional 30 seconds at a time. Remove the eye opener from the microwave, holding it by the two flat ends to avoid the hot center. Lay the warm eye opener over the lower edge of the phone to soften the adhesive holding the display in place. Attach a suction cup to the lower half of the display assembly, just above the home button. Pull up on the suction cup to create a small gap between the display assembly and the rear case. Insert the flat end of a spudger into the gap. Slide the spudger to the left along the lower edge of the iPhone. Twist the spudger to widen the gap between the display and rear case. Slide the spudger up the left side of the iPhone, starting at the lower edge and moving towards the volume control buttons and silent switch. Pull up on the suction cup to lift the display and open the iPhone. Pull up on the small knob on the suction cup to remove it from the front panel. Slide the opening pick along the top edge of the iPhone, between the rear case and front panel. To break up the remaining adhesive holding the screen in place, pull the display assembly slightly away from the edge of the phone to disengage clips holding it to the rear case. Open the iPhone by swinging the display up from the left side, like the back cover of a book. Remove the 3.000 screws from the lower connector bracket. 3 1.2mm screws own 2.4mm screw. Remove the bracket. Use the point of a spudger to lift the battery connector out of its socket on the logic board. Use the flat end of a spudger or a fingernail to disconnect the two lower display connectors by prying them straight up from their sockets on the logic board. Remove the two 1.3mm Phillips screws, securing the bracket over the front panel sensor assembly connector. Remove the bracket. Disconnect the front panel sensor assembly connector from its socket on the logic board. Remove the display assembly. Remove the two 1.9mm Phillips screws securing the barometric vent to the rear case. Remove the vent. Use the flat end of a spudger to disconnect the Taptic Engine connector from its socket on logic board. Remove the three 1.6mm Phillips screws securing the Taptic Engine to the rear case. Remove the Taptic Engine. Use a pair of tweezers to peel one of the adhesive strips on the lower edge of the battery. Use a pair of tweezers to peel back the other adhesive strip on the lower edge of the battery. Slowly pull one battery adhesive tab away from the battery toward the bottom of the iPhone. Pull steadily. Maintain constant tension on the strip until it slips out from between the battery and the rear case. For best results, pull the strip at a 60th angle or less. Repeat the previous step for the second strip. If you removed both adhesive strips successfully, skip the next step. Otherwise, if either of the adhesive strips broke off underneath the battery and cannot be retrieved, continue with the next step below. Prepare an eye opener and apply it to the rear case directly over the battery. Alternatively, you can apply heat using a heat gun or hairdryer. After about a minute, remove the eye opener. Flip the phone over and use a plastic card to break up any remaining adhesive behind the battery. Remove the battery from the rear case. Perform a force restart after reassembly. This can prevent several issues and simplify troubleshooting.